This tutorial will show you how to add or change a submission view for quizzes on Cougar view. In the quizzes section, select your quiz and click on the submission views tab. In this submission views tab, you're basically controlling what a student will see after they submit a quiz. Here you can see the default submission view. You can view its properties by clicking on it. In the default view, it will display a message. To change this message, simply click on the message editor box. Here you can type in whatever message you would like to display. You can also choose to either show or not to show questions, and there are also options to show scores and statistics of the quiz. Once you are done, select Save. Now let's test this submission view to get a better idea of what it actually does. Here you can see a student is about to submit their quiz. When the quiz is submitted, they will see the default submission view. For the default view, we only specified it to show the message, which you can see here. If we go back to the default view, it is not recommended to allow students to see the questions and answers immediately after submitting their quiz. The reason for this is because if only one student submits their quiz, they would have a copy of all the answers, which means they could then possibly share their answers with their classmates. However, if you want the students to see the questions and answers for revision purposes, then it is possible to create a new submission view, which only shows them after the due date of the quiz. You can do this by clicking on Add Additional View. For this example, I will call my new submission view Revision. For the message, I want it to display Revise for Final Exam. Unlike the default view, there are date and time restrictions. For this part, you can change it to whenever you want, as long as it's after the due date, so that students can only see this submission view at the time you specified here. For questions, I will choose to show all questions with easy responses, and also to show question answers. Everything else is deselected. Once you're done, select Save. Now you can see that there are two submission views. A default submission view, which takes place immediately, and the revision view, which takes place on the 28th of February 2014 at 12 p.m. Now let's test this and see what students are looking at when they submit a quiz. Here you can see a student is about to submit their quiz before the due date. When they submit their quiz, they will see the default view. Again, we only specified the default view to display a message. Here you can see a student is trying to view their attempt of the quiz. When they click on their attempt, they should now be able to see the revision view, since the date and time has already passed the 28th. Here you can see the displayed message, and below are the questions and answers to the quiz. They should be able to see which answers are wrong and which answers are correct. If the answer is already correct, it will show a tick mark next to it. So, as you can see, submission views are basically the page a student will see when they submit their quizzes. This ends the tutorial on how to add or change a submission view for quizzes on Cougar view.